That is a hard question.
Maybe if I was to see a girl and to say
Gender stereotyping?
Um, Gender stereotyping.
a brain farm.
Gender stereotyping is when you see someone, assume their gender, and assume that this is how they're gonna be. They're gonna act in XYZ ways.
Gender stereotyping is when people like associate certain behaviors with certain genders, like girls do this and boys do this.
I would say it is where you assume someone's gender based on how they look.
Exaggerated and generalized statements about the genders.
Is when you assume a specific gender is predisposed to be better at a certain task.
Dress a certain way, behave a certain way based off like their whether or not they state that their sex is male or female.
Pigeonholing someone according to their genders.
I don't know, just like assuming that like men are better at math, women are better at like organizing.
Saying that a certain gender would do certain things, I guess.
The way we perceive different types of people based on like their sexuality.
Thinking of certain tasks that are specific to certain genders.
Maybe like just the stereotype as far as like if I was to see a girl wearing baggy jeans or something, be like, I would say that would be a gender stereotype.
I'd say negatively. I guess you could say both, because sometimes people will like feel bad for you when you're a girl, so then you get like a lot of sympathy, but also negatively because people will like underestimate you, or you won't get as many like opportunities, especially like in the medical field.
I'm like a positive person, but I think I would say it can be both. Especially being a guy, people think sometimes you're not smart or you can't do stuff, but that's not the case. I think it's more individual than just based on like your sex.
Negatively affected because, especially being like an engineering major, it's kind of like this whole like, perceived notion about girls and science.
It's affected me in small ways.
Negatively affected, just in different environments like school and work.
I've benefited from, guys holding the door open for me, and like my boyfriend always buys my dinner when we go out to eat and that kind of stuff. And so those are the kind of stereotypes that I benefit from. But
I would say that it has not made an impact on my life.
Both. I mean, people see me, they're like, oh, it's a woman, they're gonna be good at nurturing, and so I've gotten a lot of opportunities with kids and stuff, which I really enjoy, but I've also been negatively impacted because I'm a computer science major, so in jobs and stuff, people expect me to be good at like pretty things and stuff like that. They don't expect me to do like hard-hitting coding.
I feel like it goes both ways. I mean, in certain aspects, yes, it's like definitely helped to be a male because like people expect like a higher standard.
I think women, and I'll even say some men, just based on like you feel like you have to be in a box. You can't really do something like artistic. It may be viewed as feminine.
people who don't fit into specific genders and women the most.
People in lower socioeconomic standings.
I think both equally, but in different ways.
I'd say it affects girls more just because a lot of times they like can't play others, like some sports, just because of like physical things.
I think it affects like people of all genders equally, and I don't think there's anyone that benefits or like doesn't from it, because like it hurts both men and women and like everyone else.
More part of the LGBT community more than anyone else.
Looking back in history, you can see like that it existed, like when women didn't have as much to say as men did, and that sort of prejudice has continued.
Put people into categories when really they shouldn't exist, and people can be whatever they want.
I think it kind of stems from just like how we started out. It was like a human society, and the way that everyone kind of developed into their own roles, and soon we took those roles and kind of developed it into a further, deeper understanding of what a person should be.
The cultural thing, like, it's been around for a very long time, and people are finding it hard to change.
We as people like to categorize things, like to sort things according to just neat little boxes, and when people don't really fit into those little boxes, we get scared.
I guess it just like comes from like your family.
I think it exists because it's just something that the world and the people like made up.
Maybe occasionally, but I don't think that's what it's generally used for.
I don't really think it does because it really inhibits a person to be who they are.
Just to stereotype someone really means that you're putting them into a category based on things that are superficial or unimportant and may not be true, so I don't think it really has a positive impact.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Say if like a female is going to get a job or something, I think she would like, if she was to like dress up like nice and stuff, she would definitely get the job, especially if it was like a guy or a man, like the head boss or something.
I would just say like spread the word, be nice to everyone.
By supporting people who do stuff that they shouldn't necessarily be doing, like female athletes and male models and whatnot.
We need to just not assume things about people and treat everyone equally and see what people have to offer.
I think just start with kids, teach them not to do it and that everyone's equal but different, and that's okay.
I'd say just by like teaching people that everyone's equal, especially just like starting young.
Education, talking about it, getting it wrong, making mistakes, and learning from those mistakes.
Just let a person live and let them act the way they want, like behave the way they want.
Do what you want to do, and don't worry about what people think. So.
This project was really interesting because it shows that gender stereotyping does affect all types of people. We have preconceived notions in society that limit our individual personalities. A lot of students said that it existed because of the history of the United States and the families that were raised in. It would be easier to express ourselves if we accepted everyone for who they are and let them be who they want to be.